Welcome to the $100 MBA Show, the business podcast that doesn't waste your time with useless jibber-jabber, giving you only the best business lessons you need with our daily 10-minute business lessons for the real world. I'm your host, your coach, your teacher, Omar Zenhom. I'm also the co-founder of the $100 MBA, a complete business training and community online. And today is a must-read episode. Today's must-read book is The Thank You Economy by Gary Vaynerchuk. In these must-read episodes, I tell you a little bit about the book, why you should read it, and how it influenced me as an entrepreneur. Gary Vaynerchuk has published 3 powerful books. This is one of them. This is the second one, actually, that he published. And I think its insights can really help small businesses like you and I, because it really talks about how to create a brand that really cares about their customers. Because businesses like that are really hard to compete with. I'm going to get into all the details, so let's get down to business. Today's episode is sponsored by Natix Binary Options Trading. As a $100 MBA listener, you can appreciate how much $100 can do. So does Natix. You can get started with just $100. With Natix Binary Options, you trade on whether you think the market will be above or below a certain point at a certain time. Go to Natix.com and open up a free account at Natix, that's Nadex.com. Futures, options, and swap trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Before I get into the details of the Thank You Economy, I want to talk a little bit about the author, Gary Vaynerchuk. I think I've mentioned him here or there in previous episodes, but Gary Vaynerchuk is a self-made entrepreneur. Gary didn't come from money. His family was an immigrant family that came to America, and his father had a liquor store where Gary worked and then later helped out broaden the business by going online. He had a very successful YouTube show called WineLibraryTV.com where he tasted and reviewed different kinds of wines. And through that show, he's helped that business become a multi-million-dollar business. He's now the founder and president of VaynerMedia. And Gary's very, very big on social media. He has over 1 million Twitter followers, and he's written 3 best-selling books. If you know Gary, you know that he's a very passionate guy. He's a very high-energy guy. He's a very blunt and in-your-face kind of guy. So he's not going to sugarcoat things for you, and his writing in this book is just like that. It's very straight up. It's very matter-of-fact, but it all comes from the heart. And I really appreciate this type of writing because it doesn't waste my time. It goes straight to what's important. He talks about why it's important, and he gives very convincing arguments. So what does he talk about in this book, The Thank You Economy? He talks about how to turn your business into a caring, soulful business, a business with a soul, a business that actually cares about the customers, because customers that feel like they're taken care of, just like the old mom and pop stores down the street that you frequent often because you feel good there, they have leverage. They have a way that they can earn business that other businesses that don't really care about their customers don't. Those businesses usually don't get a return customer. If I go somewhere and I feel like I'm not being treated properly, I'm going to spend my money elsewhere. So this is a great book when it comes to branding, it comes to customer service really, and the whole attitude or environment or climate or culture you can create within your own business, even if it's just a business of one or business of 2 or whatever it is. Even if you're outsourcing or you're working with, a virtual assistant, it's a great book to talk about what kind of culture you want to create inside your business. Therefore, when people come in contact with your business, customers come in contact with your business, they have this great culture of care, understanding, and trying to please and delight their customers. In the book, he goes into detail on how you can do this through social media, through Twitter, Facebook, and all the other outlets, and how you should use these mediums, how you should use these things to help people out, to answer questions, to give advice, to really give freely. And we talk about this a lot in the $100 MBA, that you can really leverage and add value in your business if you give freely. If you give more and more than the other people around you or your competition, it really differentiates yourself. It shows that you're not out just for a buck. You're not out there just to take your customers' money. You're out to really genuinely help them. So the Thank You Economy is split into 3 major parts. He's got a conclusion and some other stuff at the end of the book, but there are 3 major parts. Part 1 is Welcome to the Thank You Economy. Part 2 is How to Win. And part 3 is the Thank You Economy in action. So what I love about the way he breaks up the book is he introduces you to this idea that he calls the Thank You Economy, having a business that has a soul, caring about your customers. Then he goes into the what. What does he mean by this? What does a Thank You Economy look like? And then he actually shows you how to do it, how to take it into action in your own business. He has some case studies in there that deal with both social media and in real life, like real life interactions if you have a physical business. And he also shows some great examples of big businesses or big brands like Old Spice and how they use social media to help build their own thank you economy. One of my favorite sections in the thank you economy is a section called Erasing Lines in the Sand. It's in chapter 2. And he talks about how you can't really get an ROI, or you can't really evaluate caring about your customers. It's not something you can really plot on a graph. One of my favorite quotes in the book is, most business people spend far too long on the wrong side, hiding behind tired sayings like, you can only manage what you can measure. But what's the ROI on your mother? And I love that because it talks about, your mother is somebody you care about and you give freely. You don't think about that. And you should do the same with your own business because you should feel the same way about your customers. You should care about your customers. Obviously, you're going to care about your mother more. But the point is that if you show a level of caring that people are not used to, that people feel like you care above and beyond the other people around them, the other competition that's around you, then you're going to win their hearts. Then obviously, you're going to win their business. I want to talk to you a little bit about how the thank you economy affected me as an entrepreneur. But before that, I got to give some love to today's sponsor. Guys, Valentine's Day is coming up and you're going to want to look your best. Luckily, Harry's has got you covered to ensure your face looks as sharp as the rest of your look. Just for Valentine's Day, listeners to the $100 MBA show are going to get a great free engraving on a chrome Winston razor when they use coupon code MBA Valentine. I think it's pretty cool to have an engraved razor. It's kind of personal. The chrome Winston set includes a razor, 3 quality blades, and your choice of shaving cream or foaming gel. I prefer the gel because I like to see what I'm doing when I'm shaving, and the gel's kind of transparent. Harry's was generous enough to send over a Winston razor along with some shaving cream and everything, and I gave it a shot, and it's a really good razor. It's a really close shave. There's like 4 blades on the blade, and it was very smooth and easy to use. There's like a weight to the handle, so it makes it easy to use. And you could save $15 and get an engraved Winston set for just $25 with my code MBA Valentine. I think it's so cool that Harrys.com was started by 2 guys passionate about creating a better shaving experience for all men. They're so passionate about delivering a superior shave, and they've accomplished it. I mean, I've used it, and it's really, really good. And a fun fact here, Harry's actually bought a blade factory in Germany that has been crafting some of the world's highest quality blades for nearly a century. So go to Harrys.com now, and you can get your $15 engraving on the chrome Winston set with coupon code MBA Valentine on your first purchase. Save $15 and get the chrome engraved Winston set for just $25. That's HARRYS.com and enter coupon code MBA Valentine. When I read The Thank You Economy, it really helped me change my mindset about how to approach my customers. And I didn't see them as customers anymore. I saw them more as like friends or supporters of the things I'm working on. And when you have that kind of mindset, the way you approach, the way you communicate with people you consider friends, it's warmer. It's closer to what is natural. It's authentic. And people start having names again. You start calling people by name and you know what they look like. And you try to really help people genuinely, regardless if they're going to buy something or not. And this goes with social media or email or in person or a phone call or whatever it is. And what this does is it really creates this sense of confidence that, you're doing what you're doing, you're trying your best, you're building your business, you're offering whatever you're offering, and you're just going to be the best person you can be. You could be the best communicator you can be, and just genuinely try to help the people that are interested in what you're doing, and everything else will fall into place. And I can testify that that's true. I think this podcast is a great example of this. Through this podcast, Nicole and I are really just genuinely trying to help those that are interested in what we do. We offer this free platform, we give it every single day, and we give it all we can. And we're very thankful for having you as listeners. And it doesn't matter if you buy now or buy later or not buy at all. You're still a member of our community, you're still a subscriber to our values and what we think and how we approach business, and for us, that's good enough. So I highly, highly recommend you pick up The Thank You Economy by Gary Vaynerchuk. We have a link to the book in our show notes today. You can find that at 100mba.net/MBA156. All right, guys, I want to leave you with this. Some books that you're going to read are going to show you how to do something. It's going to show you a step-by-step process. And other books are going to just change your mindset about something. And the Thank You Economy is one of those books. And I think that books like this, the Thank You Economy, that change your mindset are really, really powerful because they affect a lot of things that you do in your business. It changes the way you approach a lot of different things, and it can really drastically improve things just by changing the way you think about things. And the reason why you need a book for that is because he's got to give you examples and case studies to show you what exactly